Hi everyone, I'm Ninness, your loan pro in Denver, Colorado with another installment of How Much Mortgage Can I Afford? Today we're going to be diving into HOA fees and actually the fees that you can expect at closing on top of your standard closing costs and prepaid items, things that you should expect, especially if you're looking in a building that actually has HOA fees. So stay tuned for that. As always, if you like the information, I'd ask that you like, subscribe, follow. This is a weekly series. We'd love to have you back every week to keep on learning how to have a successful home buying process right here in the Denver market. Also, if you know someone who would like the information, make sure you share with them. And then the final note is, if you're needing someone to help you with your home financing, I am right here local in Denver. Would love the opportunity to help you with your home purchase. Otherwise, thanks for joining me on this episode of How Much Mortgage Can I Afford? Hello and thank you again for joining me on another episode of How Much Mortgage Can I Afford? Before I jump into today's episode, I wanted to take a moment to honor all the men and women that are both active or retired serving our nation in our military. I get to help people every day, both Americans that were born here and those that have come to this place wanting something better. And with the dream of home ownership, that is literally a gift given to us all from the dedication of our servicemen and women out there and our veterans. As should always be the case, take some time over the Memorial Day weekend to think about these important heroes. If you see a service member or veteran in your travels around town, take the time to say thank you for your service. They really do appreciate it. Now for this week, I wanted to take some time to talk about fees and costs that you might occur when buying a condo or townhome or a regular home that has an HOA. Homeowners associations all provide different services and as such, have different fee structures. With the shortage of inventory and many first-time homebuyers actually coming to the market with their eyes on the more affordable condo or townhome around town, it's important to realize there in fact could be a little bit of extra costs associated that you'd be paying at closing. Now in general, whether you're looking at a home, condo, or townhome, you're going to need to pay a couple months worth of the monthly HOA at closing. So let's say you're buying a condo and the HOA is $250 per month, you should be prepared to bring in an additional $500 in that case to closing to cover the first 2 months of living in your home. This is because it usually takes a couple months for the HOA management company to actually set up your account. And remember that when your new HOA payments start, they're typically due on the first of the month and there is no grace period. There's 15 on your mortgage. Now this is your most common expense. For those HOAs that are paid quarterly or annually, it's not uncommon to pay that entire whole quarter, semi-annual or annual bill in full at closing as well, so keep that in mind. Another less common fee you might see is for capital reserves. These are funds that are paid in by every new owner in the complex and are refunded to you when you sell your home, since that new owner is actually going to be paying in as well. I've seen these fees range from $350 all the way up to an additional $800. Now the final additional HOA fee you might see is a transfer fee. This is a fee charged by the HOA to transfer the account attached to that specific unit into your name. What's really important to understand though is about this fee is that it's actually something that is marked on the residential real estate contract as who is paying it. A good agent might actually say that the seller has to pay that fee and it just goes unnoticed on the seller side. But for an experienced or seasoned agent on the listing side, they also might notice or highlight to their seller when they see a buyer offering to pay this fee. And in some communities, it could actually be over $1,000. That savings to a seller could be the cherry on top that gets you the contract accepted. In the end, if you're buying a home with an HOA, you should be expecting to pay at least a couple months worth at closing as a minimum, but you also want to check early in the process to see if when those larger fees can be expected. So thanks for joining me on this episode of How Much Mortgage Can I Afford? And make sure you join me next week where I'm going to give you the top 3 questions to consider when choosing a loan officer in today's Denver home buying market.